This is TramShed Theatre Company, an inclusive theatre group based in Blackpool, offering workshops for people that are differently abled and for people that are not differently abled. Some members have been at TramShed since the very start, and they talk about their experience. I spoke to Anthony about how TramShed has impacted his life over the last 15 years.
Well, they're very helpful. They're very caring. They've been very supportive with me over the last 15 years through the good times and the bad times. Like obviously, when I first started at TramShed, obviously when I had my pneumonia, to the death of my dad, and obviously when they got my Clee reader. And obviously when I had my kidney transplant, they've been very helpful, supportive and kind. And also I know when I've done like my charity walks, my 10k, or whatever charity things I've done, they've always got support through that. But they've been very helpful and supportive over the last 15 years.
During the pandemic, TramShed have continued the workshops online, and it has made an impact on people's lives. If TramShed did not have enough funding to continue the workshops during the pandemic, it would not survive at all. A plethora of members would be isolated and lost without TramShed. I spoke to Anthony, Kathleen and Daniel about their experiences on Zoom.
Well, it was all right. Obviously, I had a few technical issues on my phone and that, Eleanor. But obviously, with help from my carers where I live at Geldof, I managed to. And obviously, sometimes I had to like miss like a little bit, like 15 minutes, half an hour, and I was getting like all panicky, thinking, oh no, you know, it's like get on that sort of thing. But no, it was very strange because obviously I'm used to like seeing all my friends at TramShed, so to do it online was basically a new experience, Eleanor.
Oh, we would miss it, wouldn't we? Because we did enjoy doing it online in the pandemic, didn't we?
Yeah.
We're hoping that it'll just continue, aren't we? Really?
Yeah.
TramShed is not about going to workshops and making new friends. It is about a big family performing on stage together and making incredible memories to look back on. I spoke to Tina on how she likes going to TramShed and seeing everyone there. Do you like coming to TramShed?
You have to use your buttons.
Yes.
Do you feel happy at TramShed?
Yes.
Is everyone helpful at TramShed?
Yes.
Do you get nervous when performing on stage?
No.
The arts team are very dedicated to the members. They help people come out of their shells. They have been a big help during lockdown because they made all the members sane and happy. They do their best to put on shows on stage or on Zoom. Every week they always have something good planned for workshops. I spoke to Vicky and Eve about how they became arts practitioners based on their experiences and how they had to adapt workshops online during the pandemic.
I suppose that I've always been involved in drama and theatre for pretty much all my life, and when I saw TramShed as an organisation, they seemed to fit what I loved most, which is that inclusive message. And then for a while volunteering was fine for me, and then the role of an arts practitioner came up and I thought, maybe I can use my degree for something here. So I went for it, and gave up my other job and lived on beans for a little while because it was worth it.
So when I was at university, I studied musical theatre and drama, and we had to do a project called ARPS, and it was Arts Research Project is what it stood for. And I researched into inclusive theatre and theatre with groups with people with disabilities, and I had to do a whole portfolio on that. And when I came back to Blackpool, I didn't know about any groups here that did inclusive theatre, and it was when I started working at Woodlands that I met Bernie, who's a volunteer as well, and was introduced to TramShed. So that's when I started as a volunteer. And then when a position came up, I just thought, right, I'm going for it, doing it, because it's what I wanted to do when I was at uni, but I didn't know anywhere around here that did it. So yeah, I just thought I'm gonna shoot for the chance, and I got it. It did have a huge impact, I think, on everyone in different ways. I mean, I was quite new to, I'd not long started my position as arts practitioner before we went into lockdown, so I was very new to delivering, and when I delivered in the workshop space I had all the other arts practitioners around me, so that if I felt a bit unconfident or if I wanted a bit of support, I could turn around and they'd be right there in the room, right next to me, like kind of holding my hand in a way. But online, it was a completely different ball game because you had to really adapt how you delivered, and I was already new to delivering, so it did have a huge impact. And even though there was always an admin person there was always another arts practitioner there with the camera off, you still kind of felt like, because their camera was off, you felt like you were delivering on your own, and you had to, you know, ensure everyone was able to join in inclusively in what you were delivering, which again, that wasn't easy delivering online, because things that you would do in workshops to support anybody who might need that support, to make sure they are included, is completely different online. You're not there in the room to just physically support them. So I think it did impact a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But yeah, that's how it impacted me anyway. So.
The arts team wouldn't be able to run TramShed without volunteers. I spoke to Vicky about how helpful the volunteers are.
We wouldn't be able to run without volunteers. It just wouldn't be possible. I dread to think of doing any kind of workshop or anything with TramShed without volunteers. So they're a really integral part of what we do. They are extra hands when we need them, extra eyes, extra ears. They're just everything really. Like I say, we couldn't run without volunteers. It just wouldn't be possible.
TramShed Theatre Company has a plethora of volunteers. They help people who are struggling with their needs and take part in workshops and shows. Once a week, they gather on Zoom or face-to-face for an inclusive training workshop. They have a laugh and play warm-up games together. I spoke to Shelley about how she wants to help people in an inclusive setting.
Well, I was looking for a volunteering opportunity, and I was kind of looking for the things that were available, and I've done quite a lot of drama in the past and done some shows at the theatres in Blackpool. So I looked at it and I thought, well, that might be interesting. So I kind of came in with my eyes closed really, because I didn't know what to expect. So I applied and had a chat with Zach, and he took me through the kind of things I'd be doing, and it just sounded like fun. And to be quite honest, as far as volunteering is concerned, I probably get as much out of it as the support I give to others when I'm actually in a workshop, because I have a great time when I'm here. I'm giggling because I really like them, because I'm not the most punctual person in the world. So when we were on Zoom, when I was running late, as I always am, it was dead easy because I just put my jacket on and turned it on. But I actually, because I'd be teaching on Zoom as well, I'm teaching on Teams, teaching online, it was quite nice to do something a bit more creative and a bit more active and see how that went into the Zoom environment. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it.
Some members and parents are involved with TramShed Voice. They do fundraising events such as race night, discos, talent shows, trips, etc. The events are great, everyone has a great time, and it is all for a good cause. I spoke to Kathleen and Daniel about how they got involved with TramShed Voice and why they like to be involved in fundraising events.
Didn't we come up, yeah?
I think it might have been Shelley actually,
Yeah,
but
Shelley.
I think we were just aware that we needed to do some fundraising at various times, and we were trying to do that with Zach, and I think Zach felt that it needed to be taken over by the parents rather than run by TramShed. It needed to be something that was done by members and parents of children who were in TramShed, and we needed to take a bit of more responsibility for it.
Yeah.
So I think Shelley actually came up with the original idea, but then the group just has got bigger and bigger of people who are happy to fundraise for TramShed.
It's just the people like Lee, and I know there are different people in TramShed making sure they can be heard on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because part of the role of TramShed Voice is to represent some of the people who are in TramShed.
Like teen.
Yeah.
Inside the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we felt that, some of the members were a little bit unhappy about something, then you'd hope that they could come to one of the people in TramShed Voice who would then, take that to Zach and Tina and the practitioners on their behalf. So there's two roles. There's the fundraising role, and then there's the role that Daniel talks about, which is representing the members in another, giving the members a voice, really. Luckily we haven't had anything that we're unhappy with, but if there was, if something cropped up, then there is now a way of that being made known. So that was quite important, really, wasn't it? Well done.
TramShed Theatre Company changes people's lives, and it makes them the person into who they are today and become a good role model to other people. TramShed Theatre Company is also a place for making friends and making memories. If you want to join TramShed Theatre Company, go to their website for more details. Their website address is www.tramshed.org.uk.